Howdy folks, good afternoon. Here's a second video for Wednesday. So I'm actually over in Punta Gorda, Florida, as I had my last video at. It's a town that's in Florida that faces along the Charlotte Harbor, just directly in front of me. So Punta Gorda is actually a Spanish term, which when you translate into English, it actually means fat point. They call it fat point because when you actually look at the aerial map of this part of Florida, it's like a point of land that really protrudes into the harbor, as I like to say it. And behind me, just a bit past that shelter house, is the Peace River Wildlife Center. That is I believe that's a nonprofit organization that specializes in wildlife rehabilitation, rescue, and education. So they host all of mostly native birds that you can find in Florida, as well as owls too. So it's a recommended visit for those of you who are near this area in Florida. But they're only open until 4 p.m. though. Once it passes that time, they will actually close the gate that leads to the entrance to this place. So something to keep in mind for those of you who potentially want to plan for a visit. So you can actually see along those boat markers in the distance, those are some brown pelicans. They have some nests on top, or they just like to perch on them as well, just to observe, look for any food that might be nearby. I see we have a lot of cloud activity too, as well. Not too long ago, we actually had a little bit of a rainstorm. See, that's one thing about being in Florida too, is there might be a storm, to your right or to your left, but the particular spot you might be standing at might not be experiencing anything. And usually these storms, they like to call it liquid sunshine. And these storms might only last for as long as 5 minutes to a half hour. That's just how it is during the wet season. And that's how Florida is. You only have a wet season and a dry season. That's it. But yeah, just came from a decent nature cruise. That was a great time. It was nice to, do some further networking and get to learn more about, this general area of Peace River and Charlotte Harbor, which is right in front of me. But what's neat too about Punta Gorda is when you look at it on an aerial map, a lot of it actually isn't natural. Let's just say this place has a lot of fill with sediment, particularly sand, that was once dredged. That's what allowed settlement to become further possible. Otherwise, we would mostly be on the harbor right now. And it would also be filled with mangroves too. So yeah, majority of the town lies on fill that was incorporated. What's also neat too is some of the sand that is used as fill. Some of that sand actually came from erosion that happened at the Appalachian Mountains that slowly made their way down here. So what I'm trying to say is, not all of the fill that is incorporated here isn't like unnatural or anything. Some of it actually is from natural processes. Oh yeah, here's something cool I wanted to mention with you guys that I have forgot to mention. So I've pointed out about the sea grape, which is right in front of us, but I haven't really discussed about the leaf. You know, historically in Florida, the leaves of the sea grape, it has a very thick texture and rough. And what's neat was the leaves actually back in the day used to be used as postage stamps. So people could actually like write their letters on them and then put like a stamp on it and have it mailed out to whatever the destination is. And then here's one more particular tree that I want to point out. Give me just a second. Alrighty. Some of you may have actually seen what this tree is. This tree is actually known as the Gumbo Limbo tree, which is another prevalent native tree found in the state of Florida. It's also known as the tourist tree. Reason that they call it tourist tree is if you look very closely here, you see that it's kind of shedding right here. Well, when I take the peeling off, it has a bit of a reddish color, which resembles sunburnt skin that peels off. And so, with that being said, that's why this tree is called the tourist tree, because of that particular characteristic. And these are actually a very fast growing tree as well. As long as it's given the proper conditions, oh yeah, they can grow very quick in no time. Yeah. I'll provide an article for you guys if you want to read up further on the Gumbo Limbo. But that was just a particular tree that I wanted to point out with you guys. So alrighty. Hey, like I said, I thought this was content worth sharing. And yeah, I'm just over in Punta Gorda, so you only have until like 4 o'clock each day to be out here. So well worth a visit, and hope you guys got something of value too. So alright mates, take care, and journey on a journey is outwards. Enjoy your day, you guys.